Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of GM Fantasy. I'm Paul, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at episode 4 of Behind the Scenes of a Contract League. So let's check it out. Alright boys, so just like in my last video with the GM Fantasy Charter League, episode 4, we're going to do the same thing with the other vlog series, Behind the Scenes of a Contract League. This will be episode 4, and I was going to do an update after week 12, but like I said before my last video, life got a little hectic and I just didn't have enough time to do it. So we're going to do it now, right before the playoffs. But before we get into the video, guys, if you guys could do me a huge favor, especially if you guys are liking the content, if you guys can like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop some comments in the comments section. It'll help the channel a ton. I really want to get this channel growing, and, I need your guys' help to do it. So if you guys can do that for me, it'd be much appreciated. And don't forget, we still got that free contest going on for the next subscriber league on League Tycoon. Stick around for the end of the video for the details on how to enter. Let's get back to the video. So we'll start off with the Old Timers League. This is the league that I've been part of for over a decade now, and this is the long-standing league I was talking about that's been around since the early 90s, before the internet. And I'm doing really well in this league, and so we'll start off here with the results of week 9. We're gonna go, my path to the championship, and I went up against Freddie Beach, and I ended up taking it 175 to 140. I had a decent week there, nothing too crazy. 175, I would say, is an average scoring week. Freddie Beach just didn't have a great week, so I was able to take that one. As you can see here, Epstein Islanders had the most points with 244. I would have lost against the majority of the league, so I got lucky that I played against Freddie Beach this week. And honestly, the reason why is because Jameer Gibbs had a dud of a game, only 6 points. Metcalf only had 1.6. Shakir didn't do so well. Brian Thomas only 7 points. Even my running backs, Josh had an okay game at 21, but Javonte, not so good. And just his team did a lot worse. He had a huge week out of Caleb, but that was pretty much about it. Daniel Jones had a solid 29, and Marvin Harrison Jr. finally had a good game, but the rest of his team did absolutely nothing. So easy victory for me. Very happy about that. And now we're going to move to week 10. Find off against Silky Johnson. I had a good week at 199. He had 161. The leader this week was Ganja Warriors at 225, and that's unfortunate for Guns and Burrows because he had the second most points and only lost by 4. So that's a heartbreaking loss there for Guns. But as you can see here, my team had a great week, and there was actually I had the perfect lineup. There's no one else I could have started that would have done better. So happy with my decisions. Jameer Gibbs had a monster week at 39 points, and Allen 33 solid. Bo Nix had a bad week, but it didn't really matter because the rest of my team did pretty well. And even if he started his other players, he wouldn't have won. So it was a good victory for me here. Now we'll go to week 11, and I went up against Big Time. Now this is revenge from an early loss of the year. He barely beat me. That was like the heartbreaker, if you remember. But Chase McLaughlin missed was it a field goal or an extra point, and then got minus a point, and then I lost by less than a point. So that was unbelievable that he ended up taking the victory on that one. But I got my revenge, 202 over 180. As you can see here, I had the most points this week. And again, he had the perfect lineup. But me here, I had a good lineup. Josh Allen, 53 points. That was a monster performance. Bo Nix, 23 is good. The rest of my team did pretty well. A few guys I could have upgraded with, but nothing too crazy. Obviously, kickers, you have no idea what's going on. So obviously, 10 points extra from Lutz would have been nice. But Shakir with only 0.2 points, which is terrible. And Josh Jacobs only 5 points. But I'm not going to be putting Wilson in. Actually, that was the game Josh got injured, so that makes a lot of sense actually. Next week, week 12, we've got Montreal Elites versus Kingdom. Ended up crushing him 265 to 150. Beat him by over 100 points. Again, another revenge game from an early loss in the year. He won on that miracle touchdown by David Montgomery when the game was already over and the defense just let him score. So he won by 1 or 2 points, and it shouldn't have happened. The defense literally just let Montgomery score that touchdown. So I was really salty about that loss, but got my revenge back, and a hell of a revenge game by over 100 points. Started the perfect lineup. Winston got me 40 points. This was the bye week for Knicks. Gibbs, another huge one with 52. So yeah, he had absolutely no chance. And then we got week 13. I ended up going against Cheeseheads, and I had a victory, 166 to 141. Big Time had the most points at 212. This seemed like a very low scoring week in general. So happy I went up against Cheeseheads because I think I would have beaten what 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I would have beaten half the league, so it's not too bad. And if we can see here, I had a lot of players I could have switched out for. Manunga had a much better game than Jacobs. Metcalf had a slightly better game than Shakir. Thomas had a slightly better game than Franklin. And yeah, so I honestly couldn't have done much. So good win over there. Now we go to week 14. Went up against Poker Face, 239 to 182. Had the most points this week. Not much I could have changed. I could have changed Kelsey and Franklin for Pitts and Thomas, which would have given me more points, but didn't need it. So solid victory there. And week 15 is the last week of the season. And went up against Islanders. I got 226 to 186. Had the most points again. Could have changed out a bunch of players this one, but didn't really need to do that as well. So if we take a look there for the final standings, I ended up coming in first place for the season, 12-3. Every win, by the way, guys, is $15 in the bank, and every time you score the most points, it's an extra $10. I think I scored the most points for the year, I think 5 or 6 times, so it's like an extra $50-$60. And with 12 wins times 5, 15. So I think it was 165 in wins. And then we got Guns and Burrows at second place, Ganja Warriors in third, and then Poker Face squeezed into the playoffs at 8-7. He ended up winning his matchup, and then Big Time lost his, but Poker Face needed to outscore by 30 points, which he did. So he finished the year with 26-43 to 26-35. So congratulations to Poker Face for squeezing into the playoffs. And too bad for Big Time there. I know he was dealing with injuries, and he had to start, I think, Phillip Rivers, because he had no other quarterbacks. So anyway, so that's how it's going right now. And if we take a look at how it's going in the playoffs, because Thursday game already played, I am. Oh wait, it doesn't have a. Okay, it didn't have the score up there, but. Oh, you can see I'm already at a huge disadvantage. He had Puka Nacua, scored 40.5 points. Luckily, I had JSN, scored that last-second touchdown to salvage his game at 19.6. So, starting with a deficit, but my team is a powerhouse in this league, and I should be able to overcome the 20-point lead that he's having right now. He's got players like Jaden Higgins, Jalen Waddle in his lineup, so hopefully my players can just get 20 points more than these guys, and we'll even it up. And I'm not too worried, but obviously starting with a huge deficit like that does not help the situation. But I think I should be okay, and hopefully in 2 weeks' time I'll be able to report to you guys that I've made it to the finals and won the finals. But we'll wait for 2 weeks for that. And now we'll go to the next league. It's the FOB league. This one over here, we'll show the standings to start it off, this one. So Ricky football team ended up taking it at 13 wins, 2 losses. I am in second place with 11-4. And then Vinny 9-6 and Leatherface 9-6. Hurt's season unfortunately got knocked out the last week. He could have, if he had won his matchup, he would have been in, but unfortunately he lost, and Leatherface backed into the playoffs. So we'll take a look at how things were going. Standings. Okay, that's cool. We could go standings as of the week. So week 9, I was out of the playoffs in week 9, and slowly moving up. Yeah, I've been second place ever since week 11. Okay, but if we take a look at the weekly results, so week 9. I went up against football team. I handed him his first loss, so super stoked about that. 198 to 157. As you can see here, we got a couple of players we could have changed, but nothing too crazy. This league, we don't have kickers and defenses. Thank God for that. So yeah, so solid performance by my team. I ended up having the most points that week. And we go to week 10. Played cold as Bryce, 174 to 98. And did I have the most points that week? Oh, okay, no, Vinny had the most points that week. But solid. I had a perfect lineup. Couldn't have done anything better. So stoked about that. Another win. Week 11 went up against Hurts season. Hurts had a strong team anyway. Unfortunately, like a lot of injuries and suspensions were happening for him. So he's just bad luck for him this year for sure. Took the week, I think this one. Yeah, 198 was the most points. Only players I could have changed were Vidal and Pitts. So I'm happy with that one. Go to week 12. Went up against Gates and 174 to 168. And did I have the most points? Oh, no. Leatherface at 178. Couple players I could have changed, but nothing crazy. Obviously, Jameson Williams with that donut kind of hurts. I could have had Washington in there at 15, would have won the week, but hindsight, huh? And 13 went up against Vinny. Ended up winning that one 156 to 138. I don't know what happened with week 13, man. It seemed just to be a very low scoring week. First place ended up being Ricky at 170. And only player I could have changed here was Roma Dunze. So no worries there. And then week 14 went up against Leatherface. I squeaked out a victory in this one. I think it was the Monday Nighter that gave it to me. I forgot who played the Monday night game, but let's see here. I think it was Vidal, if I remember correctly. And so won that one. And first place that week was Ricky at 181. And then week 15, the last week, spanked Love Handles 190 to 149. And I think Vinny had the most points that week. Could have started, who was it here? McCarthy over Stafford. We're never going to do that. And then Pickens didn't have a great week. But literally just Parker Washington had just slightly better. So nothing really to do there. And now going to week 16, and this week I have the leg up in this one. I had Stafford play already at 45 points, so off to a great start. And I think, why is it red here? I go, maybe they got Barner projected more points, but anyway, so good start here. Hopefully, I am able to take out Vinny and make it to the finals in this league. It would be the first time I made the finals in this league, so I'm happy to do that. And yeah, so I showed the standings already. So I think I'll leave the video at that. Not much more I could say, really. So I'll give you guys an update in about 2 weeks, and hopefully I've made the finals and won both championships. And don't forget, guys, we still got that free contest going on. It is a free $50 entry into the next contract league on League Tycoon. It's a subscriber league. Super simple to enter. All you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, put the word subscribed in the comment section, then send a screenshot to me either on my X account or my email address. I'll let you know you've been entered into the contest. And then we will have a draw on August 1st to determine the lucky winner. And guys, if we get to 1,000 subscribers by August 1st, I will sponsor an entire league. So we'll have 9 lucky winners plus myself in a 10-man league. So don't miss your chance, guys. It's a contract league. If you guys were curious, here's your chance. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.